first thing that we see on the ban list immediately, as I said, it's gonna cook piles. Because you cannot go Rainbow Bridge of Salvation for it, but now what you can do is you can go Rainbow Bridge for fucking Braithsot, which basically does the same thing. You know, you can add. I mean, not really the same thing because like if you go Braithsot, you can add Tirkash. You cannot add. You know, Shiren or some shit. So like it's going to hurt piles. But if you ask me, this is like dancing around the problem, honestly. Parlarino was not a problem card. The problem card was Curious. The problem card was Snow. The problem card is Kid Kalos. None of those got banned because Konami, is stroking their dicks watching mermaids. So they are not going to hit Kid Kalos anyway, ever. But they did hit Parlarino. So, yeah, I guess I got 30 UR dust for that. And I'm happy. I'm happy. Ibli is another Hulky Fibrax Syndrome card where they are not banning the enablers, which is Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf makes Ibli Lock exceptionally obnoxious to deal with. Like it's it's omega annoying to deal with Ibli Lock when it gets when Elf is in the game. Also, like Elf is a card that's never gonna be used for something fair. It is always gonna be used to protect broken monster floodgates, to protect Omni Negates, to protect Apollousa from getting impered, which is garbage because like they're killing creativity. If you cannot imperm Apollousa, that means that you now have to start hitting the fucking Samsara Lotus. You have to start hitting other stuff. And you cannot hit you cannot save Imperm for Apollousa, for example, in the end phase. You cannot save Imperm if you are getting like Protoss or some shit. Because Elf, like, on top of being a broken Link 2 that revives like once per turn any, a level, and like on your opponent's turn even a Link 2, because they're always gonna have monsters. Now we are getting cooked. Now we are getting cooked by its fucking targeting protection, which is like maybe the most broken part of it of the effect. And of course, Konami didn't make Sprite Elf sprite specific. They made it so you can make it with any like level 2 or Link 2, which is like another case of them being absolute fucking degenerates. But yeah. Ibli banned. I'm glad that Ibli is gone. Like, at least Ibli. Banning Jaugin is a choice. I don't think that Branded was using Jaugin anyways. And like, banning Jaugin, why exactly? Like, voiceless lists, like one voiceless list, the top Duelist Cup used Jaugin. No voiceless lists in the Worlds used Jaugin. Maybe one branded list in Worlds used Jaugin. I don't think Jaugin is the problem. You ban Sanctifier. Obviously, I'm glad that Jaugin is gone because it's a stun card. I cannot complain about that. Like, Jaugin is gone, so. It's a stun card. More hits to stun, more I'm happier, personally. So, like, I guess Jaugin is gone, but, like, we still have Sanctifier. Sanctifier is still gonna revive, completely Garbanzo broken ass stuff. What do we have next? Yeah. Limits Poplar and Fossin Dyna or like Pachi. I'm gonna start with Poplar because like I think it's more relevant hit. Let me tell you, this doesn't change anything. Fire King, Snake Eyes is still like best deck, or like deck that is like on the same power level as Yubel. Right now at least. It changes nothing. They don't wanna kill Snake Eyes before they release Fiendsmith. Like, they don't give a shit if the game is healthy. They obviously just wanna sell Fiendsmith packs and like that's it. Like they want Snake Eyes to be around when Fiendsmith arrives. That's why we are keeping the deck alive. Poplar limit doesn't do jack shit. It's just now kinda worse if you draw Poplar and Bonfire, or like Snake Eyes Ash and Poplar. Like it has its downsides, but on the bright side, it's still I don't think it's enough. Like, it can create some awkward situations, but the deck still does the same thing it always did, and so this is not going to make much of a difference anyways. Fossil Dyna. is a stun hit. I don't know. How did they figure out that they are gonna ban Fossil Dyna and like leave all the barrier statues in the game? Because you still have fucking Fossil Dyna. You still have like you still have why limit Fossil Dyna in the first place, bro? Like what the fuck? Why the fuck would you limit Fossil Dyna? Like why not ban it? What does limit like what is bad in banning Fossil Dyna? I just want to I just need an explanation. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome to the stream. Like what is the upside of leaving fucking Pachi in the game? I need somebody to tell me. What is the upside of leaving Fossil Dyna in the game? Like, what do we gain? We gain nothing. It's like it's the most degen deck ever. I don't know why Konami wants stun to exist in the first place. Like it's not banned. It doesn't change anything. It's two less normal summons for stun. Stun still has the same structure. You play barrier statues. You play one Fossil Dyna. Who cares? You play one Inspector Border. Who gives a shit? Like nobody cares. Basically, nobody gives a shit. So like one Fossil Dyna or three Fossil Dynas are kind of the same thing. I would say. I really don't know. It's really not much of a difference, honestly. They are trying to hit stun every ban list. They're failing every ban list. It's just so garbage. Semi limits. Fire King Avatar Kirin. Nobody gives a shit. This card is at 3 at 2 the same card. At 1 it's a real hit. Phantom of Yubel. They don't wanna give us more UR Dust, which is, I mean, it hurts your grind game. Like some combos still need you to use double Phantom to make your full board. Phantom E2 punishes bad players. Phantom E2 will now, it's a skill issue hit, because right now if you don't know how to combo with Yubel, you're gonna use both your Phantoms and you're gonna be left without a grind game. You know, which is whatever. Because you're losing the game if your opponent manages to deal with your board. 2 Phantom like is a skill hit. It changes basically nothing for you, Bell. This deck still does the same thing. You know, it is just what it is. What do we have? 7 limits. Gold Sark. Fucking Gold Sark, bro. They're buffing Branded. I'm surprised. I'm fucking. Why give more consistency to Branded? You hit Branded Fusion to 1 and now you give them a way to get Branded Fusion. I don't get it. Like, why give them more ways? Well, can we deal with Branded, please? Like, finally? They're banning Jowgin. Where is Sanctifier ban? Can we ban fucking Sanctifier? I don't get it. Yo, Dash, what's up? Like, why can't we ban fucking Sanctifier? I don't get it. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, changes nothing. Dark Beckoning Beast is a hit, so because they hit Open Spirit, opening of the Spirit Gates as well. Now because they hit Dark Beckoning Beast, you cannot just swap third gates for the Dark Beckoning Beast. So like, people were playing 2 Dark Beckoning Beasts anyways. This is just so they prevent you from playing 3 of them, basically. But yeah, Kirin hit doesn't matter. Poplar hit create some awkward situations, but it's not the, you know, it's not that. I think the deck is still very playable. Like until Finsmith comes, like I think the deck is still very playable. As I said, Dark Opening, Dark Beckoning and Opening, Yubel hits like kinda consistency hit, but the deck is like, I think the deck is still pretty consistent. Like I don't think Yubel has a consistency problem like that is that big. Master Duel in general has consistency problems because that's how they do their ban lists. They ban things and they are not going for like hits that are gonna impact the deck in a way where the deck cannot make their end board anymore. They usually like to do hits that are gonna make that end board less likely to happen, because like you're not going to draw right pieces. That's why we have Snash at 1, that's why now we have Poplar at 1, that's why we have Bonfire at 2. Those are all consistency hits. Like none of these hits changes how your end board looks if you get to combo. But it changes the frequency of how often do you get the thing the thing done. Unlimits, this is like the most nobody gives a shit type of situation. Thunder Dragon Colossus at 3 could be at 3 from the beginning of the time, or like this card is either 3 or 0, nobody gives a shit except like pure Thunder Dragon. Card is not summoned often enough, it genuinely did nothing in the like previous year. So like I don't know, it's not that amazing. Water Enchantress Adventure Engine is long power crap, nobody gives a shit. If you're still doing like with Finsmith on the door, like nobody gives a shit about Adventurer anymore. So like nobody gives a shit. Change of Heart, Tempai buff, Giga Chad. We are waiting for Tempai. Give more like utility cards, I guess. I don't know if you would ever play 3 Change of Hearts, but I think if I'm gonna go with Tempai definitely when it gets released. And I think I'm going to take like more of a board breaker approach than hand trap approach. I'm gonna still play hand traps, but and shifters and shit. But I think I'm gonna take like trusts, talents, change of hearts, just lightning storms, Raigekis, just power spells that can clear the board. I will try that. I think that will be the way to play Tempai. I don't know. I'm yet to test. I did play a little bit of Tempai on the Dueling book, because I don't wanna spend money on TCG, and like the deck is cracked, but yeah, cards like these are just it's not really a buff, like, but it just expands your options, I guess, is what I wanna say. And the one that you cannot see is fucking epidemic virus. Um, Buff Labyrinth, I guess, but do you really give a shit? Like, is the card really that powerful? I don't know, chat, if you remember, but there was the situation in the... was it Euros? I think, was it final of Euros, like Love versus Kashtira, when the guy just blew up the opponent's hands, like 5 spells with Eradicator? I don't know, there was no need for this. Like, the card has no business being at 1, but the card also has no business being at 3. Like, it's hit or miss. Sometimes you're gonna blow up the hand, sometimes you're not gonna blow up the hand. You're gonna do absolutely nothing, you're just gonna lose the monster, I guess. But I don't know, Eradicator not an important unban anyways. And last but not least, Chaos Space, probably the most impactful unlimit. Give a little bit more consistency to Dragon Link. Dragon Link isn't doing jack shit. Let's not lie to each other. Like, Dragon Link is still like way too weak. So like Chaos Space really doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess it increases the consistency. Like, they're undoing some hits, which is like, I guess, okay. But in the hindsight, this ban list is pretty disappointing for how long we waited for it. I don't know. I think like with ban lists like this, like if this ban list came before Duelist Cup, the meta would still stay the same. We wouldn't have Ibli, but it would be still like all the same. Like, it's still the same thing. Like, it changes nothing. Meta decks are still the same. I guess a little. I think the ban list was a little bit more harsh on Yubel than it was on Snake Eyes Fire King, and that is with a good reason. We're also gonna build the like post ban list, like Fire King, Snake Eyes. It doesn't change much. Like, you just play second Ponix. And I mean, you should be playing second Ponix anyways, but like if you didn't play second Ponix, now is the time to play second Ponix. I'm gonna play the third Witch as well because I was on the 2 Witches instead. But nothing changes except that right now people that are not playing Volcanics will have to play Volcanics. Like, if you thought Volcanics was bad, this is a buff for you, because now you are forced to play a good card. So yeah, like all in all, not that impactful. Like it really isn't. I don't feel like it was the balance is that impactful. Like, genuinely, it's gonna hurt some decks. We're gonna see how Tempai gets released. Like, if Sengen Summoning goes to 1 immediately, I think that Tempai kind of stays in the, on the similar power level as all these decks here. But if Sengen Summoning goes to 3, like, Tempai is, I think Tempai is gonna be the best deck. and that, you know, deck to beat and build around, it's gonna be a meta warping deck. You know, with this ban list. Because like they toned down a little bit of arcing, they toned down a little bit of Yubel. Obviously, still not nearly enough, as I said like multiple times. It's definitely still like not that close, like not that good enough. I don't know. I would prefer like a little bit more, just a little bit more. Like, for example, instead of semi-limiting gates, limit gates in addition to this, and limit Kirin instead of semi-limiting Kirin, in addition to popular limit. And then I think like both decks would be toned down, you know, and the other decks would have a chance to compete. I would also like, you know, I would have also liked to see like either Curious or Snow, but Jesse Cotton just won Worlds, so like we are not going to see like Snow banned anytime soon, because a little bro dropped like $8K to pull two of them in Royal. So we are not getting the we were never getting Snow hits. We were all coping. And we are also not didn't get Curious hit for whatever reason. I think Curious has no business existing. It just enables degenerate stuff. Nobody ever used Curious for anything good. But I guess as a small Spiral enthusiast, I'm happy Curious is fine. I don't know, even though I'm not playing Spiral anymore. I'm going to play some